So sometimes when you see angles, sometimes you see them positive, and also other times you see them as negative angles. And you probably wonder what makes an angle negative. What do they? What It's because if you think about an angle, the angle that's from this angle right here. If you're thinking about this, is like you wouldn't think of a negative angle. That like it doesn't really make a whole sense for you in real life. Today we're gonna identify what's the difference between a positive and negative angle, and why in relation to why that makes them positive and negative. So it's your host Romel with the Jax Tutor. We're doing trigonometry for high school and college kids. So now think about this unit circle right here that has an angle next to it. So if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to look at this angle and say, okay, normally you would see this angle alpha, and they would say this is maybe 21 degrees, for example. So this is an angle alpha normally. So this side right here, the horizontal side right here, would be considered the initial side, and then this is the terminal side, and then this is the vertex of the angle right here. So now the other way they write angles, the other way that they can ask you to write an angle is to find an angle that's a negative angle. So let's say they can probably ask you to draw an angle that's like negative 35. So if you wanted to draw an angle that's negative 35, how would we do that? And negative 35 of an angle. How would we do that? So 21-degree angle, it's easy. You say that you start at the initial side and then you rotate counterclockwise and get an angle that's 21 degrees. But so when you think about, let's say we wanted an angle that's negative 21 degrees, negative 21, let's do a negative 21 to make it the counter example of this. So if for the angle that's going counterclockwise, that's opening counterclockwise in this direction, for the angle that's opening counterclockwise in this direction, we call it a positive angle. We say this positive 21 or 21. What about the angle that's opening clockwise? So what about the angle that's opening this way? So if you think about the angle that's opening this way, what about it? So this angle that's opening this way is actually a negative angle. So that would be negative 21. And I'm not measuring those at all. So that would be a negative 21 degrees around that time. So when we measuring the opening of the angle counterclockwise from the initial position on the x-axis and going counterclockwise, we say those are positive angles. For counterclockwise, counterclock. And then if we measuring them clockwise, we're measuring them this way. Let me change color. If we're measuring them this way, going this way, that means clockwise. So if you think about it, the initial side is right here. So I'm measuring the opening going this way. So it could open this way. So it could be this here, this. So I'm measuring from here to here. If I wanted to measure from here to here, it would have given me a bigger angle in a positive direction. But I say, oh, it's close to this line. Let's just measure from here to here, but in the clockwise direction. So that would be a negative angle. So the negative angles are measured in the clockwise direction, and the positive angles are measured in relation to the x-axis, which is the initial position, and the counterclockwise direction. I hope that makes sense to you. Again, this is your host, Romel, with the Jax Tutor. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.